and they put out signature Caitlin Clark balls and other merch that literally sold out within minutes of them going live.
After Nike officially recognized the WNBA star and started aggressively marketing her custom Nike, A'ja Wilson is not happy with the company's increasing efforts to promote Caitlin Clark. Despite recent criticism, some golfers still believe A'ja is the best, according to Infinity Tour 2 golf shoes.
A'ja Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why exactly? Why when A'ja was releasing a shoe were we talking about Caitlin?
Although statistics indicate that A'ja has been the best player this year, A'ja feels that she is the star, the draw, and should get the most promotion. However, when it comes to marketing, A'ja doesn't sell, as shown by the fact that when Nike releases products featuring Caitlin Clark, they sell out right away, and when they release products featuring A'ja, no one even gives Sedum a simple black t-shirt, which sells out in an hour.
A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Well, she has come out and she has made some more comments, and it is like these players just don't want these new fans, even though the new fans are the ones that drive the revenue, plain and simple.
Even though A'ja Wilson has tried to block them, Nike is now trying to promote Caitlin Clark. At least the firm has finally recognized who the genuine star is and has given Caitlin its best shot. Hopefully, A'ja won't destroy CCE's chances the way she did a few weeks ago.
Your play on the court doesn't always equate to how many shoes you will sell.
At first, Nike continued to use Wilson as their primary WNBA representative, but as Clark's fan base grew rapidly, they were compelled to start taking notice of her. Even casual basketball fans who may not have followed the WNBA closely developed an interest in Clark, and Nike realized that this was more than just hype. This was the future of women's basketball, and if they didn't support Clark, they risked missing out on an incredible opportunity.
Noise that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say.
Despite Wilson's belief that this shift was a personal betrayal rather than a simple economic choice, Nike initially took no meaningful action because they had already made such large investments in A'ja. Wilson stated that they weren't ready to shift their focus just yet, but as time went on, Nike's hesitation began to show that not only was Clark a gifted athlete, but she was also launching a movement that encouraged others to aspire to be like her. Nike saw this as a significant potential because they are loyal customers who buy a lot of products and frequently encourage their friends and family to follow in Wilson's footsteps. Young fans are among the most important clients for a company like
A bunch of these players to get very jealous and petty.
Nike had to admit that Clark was quickly becoming one of the most marketable athletes in women's sports. Although her skill on the court was a significant factor, Clark's appeal extended beyond the typical basketball fan base. She was well known in many other fields, and a brand can truly profit from that kind of crossover appeal.
Body coming along and elevating the sport shine ultimately benefits you. Go out there, compete with her, try to bust her up if you want to, and all of that stuff. Just don't hate on the acclaim that she's getting.
When Nike sees a rising star like that, they know it's time to act and start focusing their marketing efforts on Clark. However, Wilson wasn't going to like this because, as you can imagine, Wilson couldn't help but feel jealous of Clark's quick success. This marked a turning point for Nike because they had to change their strategy because Clark was attracting new fans from different demographics and with an intensity of enthusiasm that was difficult to match. Ascension, it wasn't just that she was getting more notice, but Wilson believed she had merited it and that Clark didn't appear to have faced the same difficulties or hardships as she had. Wilson alluded to this in her remarks to the public, implying that Clark's rise was partly caused by elements other than basketball talent. Up until this point, Wilson had been viewed as a modest, hardworking star who let her game speak for itself, but now her remarks about Clark were being interpreted as resentful. And bitter fans who had once supported her beginning to wonder if Wilson could handle the pressure of sharing the limelight with another rising star. It wasn't a good look for Wilson. Clark's rise to fame was not only due to her basketball prowess, but also to her ability to connect with fans in a unique way. Fans saw something in Clark that went beyond the game. She was relatable, charismatic, and most importantly, exciting to watch every time she stepped onto the court. Fans knew that something Special could happen at any time, so they tuned in game after game. One of the main reasons Clark became so marketable was that people wanted to be a part of her journey, not just watch her play. They wanted to wear her jerseys, follow her on social media, and support her in any way they could. This kind of fan loyalty is extremely rare, and it's something that brands like Nike pay close attention to. Nike knew that if they could tap into this fan base, they would see massive returns.
Sales numbers. We didn't actually see the actual numbers, but we saw the top jersey sales in the WNBA this season. And Asia, despite being a third-time MVP, her jersey sales were 5th in the league, even after Kate Martin, who barely saw the court the second half.
Nike saw a huge business opportunity when they began releasing products related to Clark. The response was overwhelming, with jerseys bearing her name flying off the shelves and even basic items like posters and t-shirts selling out. Fans couldn't get enough of Clark. When Nike hinted that they were creating a shoe with Clark's name on it, the excitement reached new heights, and everyone knew that when the shoe eventually dropped, it would sell out in minutes. However, the true game changer was the anticipation for Clark's custom shoe, which fans had been waiting for this moment. For A'ja Wilson, this was a difficult comparison because although Wilson had a devoted following, it wasn't nearly as strong as Clark's, and Wilson's merchandise sales were steady, but nowhere near the sellout numbers that Clark was generating. This was one of the main reasons Nike started shifting their promotional focus. It wasn't personal, it was just business. Clark's fan base was larger, more engaged, and more willing to spend money on her products.
Currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlin Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if A'ja Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlin Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlin Clark would outsell A'ja's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would.
It was a harsh reality that no matter how much she achieved on the court, her merchandise sales simply couldn't compete with Clark's. In the world of sports marketing, this type of commercial success is what brands aim for, which is why Nike couldn't ignore Clark any longer. They knew that heavily promoting Clark would result in bigger sales and more brand visibility because they had been with Wilson for years and had developed a close relationship with her. However, when Caitlin Clark rose to prominence, they realized that this was an opportunity they couldn't afford to pass up, and players like angel-backed A'ja, even though she is the face of Nike.
Stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right, and it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlin. Hey, do me a favor, CC. Send your favorite uncle a jersey with your autograph on it.
A'ja Wilson felt that this change was personal because she had been the face of Nike's WNBA campaigns for so long, and now it seemed like they were moving on without her. But from Nike's perspective, this was just the natural evolution of the company. Clark was the rising star, and they needed to invest in her to keep the brand moving forward. From their perspective, this wasn't about picking one player over another or saying that Clark was superior to Wilson. Rather, it was about following the numbers, and Clark was drawing more fans, excitement, and money.
Y'all stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right, and it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlin. Hey, do me a favor, CC. Send your favorite uncle a jersey with your autograph on it. And
A'ja Wilson saw this shift in Nike's strategy as more than just a business decision. It was a very personal one. She had built her entire brand around her relationship with Nike, so it felt like all of her hard work was being ignored when they started to put Caitlin Clark Wilson first. Wilson's relationship with Nike had always been strong. She had been with them for years, and this relationship represented how players and fans were reacting to the drama. Their brand with honor and accepted her role as WNBA leader, but in reality, despite being the best player for years, Caitlin's ability to sell merchandise was lacking. A good player is not the same as a star, and Caitlin possesses both of those attributes.
Seriously? The arrogance. People are going to consume what they want to consume and who they want to consume, whether you like it or not, and it's not up to A'ja Wilson to let anybody do anything.
Caitlin Clark's rise to fame has had an impact on the WNBA. Her accomplishments have enhanced not only her individual career, but the league overall. The WNBA has been working for years to raise awareness of women's basketball, and Clark's ability to attract fans and generate excitement has done just that. Outside of her on the court, this is a significant shift for the WNBA, which has been working hard to grow its fan base because people who might not have previously watched the league are suddenly interested in watching Clark play. Additionally, sponsorship deals are starting to come in, and a big part of it is because of Clark's celebrity brands. Because of Clark's appeal, the league will have more money, which it may use to upgrade facilities, increase player compensation, and expand the player-based games. Clark's rise is also helping to attract new fans of women's basketball who are starting to view the WNBA as a league with amazing players, which is altering how people view the sport. Clark's success shows how popular women's sports are and how they are helping the WNBA grow.
He's got one of the hottest selling jerseys in sports, y'all, according to Fanatics, led by the one and only Michael Rubin. Clark's Indiana Fever jersey is apparently sold out in all sizes. It was rumored that she actually